All right, now Indian markets have surged after Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman proposed to slash the corporate tax rates for domestic companies and also for new domestic manufacturing companies in the country, making Indian corporate tax rates some of the lowest in South Asia. Now, the effective corporate tax rate will be 25.17%, inclusive of surcharges and taxes that will give a boost to government's Make in India scheme. The government has also allowed an option to pay income tax at the rate of 15% for making fresh investment in manufacturing to any new domestic company incorporated on or after the 1st of October 2019. And after the announcement of the new tax, manufacturing companies will in fact be able to pay less of the tax, and also there will be no sunset clause for the fresh rates that have been announced. And the Foreign Minister expects growth to give more revenue to the government. And my colleague Sumit Chaturvedi, who's been tracking the developments very closely, is now joining us live from the newsroom. Good morning to you, Sumit. Now, this is some interesting announcement that's been made by Nirmala Sitharaman. Give us the insights as to what's been announced by the Finance Minister.
Friday, FM Sitharaman has been announcing one thing or the other, but today's announcement, I would say, is the biggest so far because it's giving direct boost to Indian companies and the new manufacturing company as well. In layman's term, it will be like income tax rate slash for the companies existing and the new companies as well. So for manufacturing, the new rate will be down from 25% to 15%. So this is an attempt to give a direct boost to Make in India, because that is something which companies always ask for, corporates always ask for, lower taxes, and that's what government has come down giving the companies too. So
Absolutely.
This will happen, that effective corporate tax rate will be 25.17%. Though it will not be without losses, government will forego revenue of over 1.5 lakh crore rupees because of this. But government expects that increase and buoyant economy will give it back the revenue which has been lost as a result of this.
Absolutely, indeed. And a quick clarification here, Sumit. Now, this rate of 25% corporate tax that's been announced, has it been announced across the board, or are there any riders that have been imposed? Because when the budget was read out, earlier in the year, this was actually something that was given only for companies with a turnover of about 400 crores. And this had led to a lot of disappointment with a lot of the people within the business community. But this time round, with the scene, is there any rider for 25% corporate tax?
Well, this time it's an option also for the companies that they want. If they have to choose, they can choose these options. So there are many overall riders as well. I would say that. Second, for the new companies, it's more of a boost to the new companies rather than existing companies. For existing companies can also avail this concession provided they meet certain criteria and they meet certain turnover as well. But it's majorly for the new manufacturing companies to invite them to have more and more companies incorporated in India, and lower taxes will be charged on them so that they can benefit more and they can reinvest that amount of money into their own businesses.
Absolutely, indeed. And the Sensex has, of course, responded to it. The Sensex, even as we speak, is up by almost about 1,500 points.
Well, absolutely, around 5%. It's a jump. It's in my memory, it's the highest in the recent times. So it's really giving a big boost to market sentiments as well, especially at the time when overall festival season is coming. Remember, if there is no good sentiment, people will stop going for purchases. This time, they have to improve the sentiment so that there is more buying going forward in festival season, and the growth, which has come down to 5% of GDP, it should go up from there. So it's also done keeping in mind the sentiments in the coming festival season, so that more and more people go out, sentiments is improved, and they purchase new things so that economy comes back to the track.
Now, one other quick question that I would like to ask you before I let you go. Manufacturing is down, to a 15-month low. By reducing corporate tax, do you think that alone would be sufficient, or do you think the government will have to announce more reforms, the good and simple tax, as the government would like to call it, the GST? A lot of people have said that that is extremely complicated, and that is one of the reasons as to why manufacturing has been impacted.
Well, that's a good question, Saleh, because today happens to be the GST panel meeting as well. Earlier expectations were there that to boost the manufacturing activity, the reduction on GST will be from 28% to 18%, but it's more likely not going to happen. And that's why these measures have been announced. So this alone would not suffice. Well, that's something which is there. But yes, overall, a slew of measures combined together, they will definitely help in bringing back the manufacturing sector back on track.
All right, we'll have to leave it there. Thank you very much indeed, Sumit Chaturvedi, for joining us and getting us all those updates in terms of what is happening with the markets after this announcement by Nirmala Sitharaman. It, of course, remains to be seen whether any more announcements